Hello and welcome to another NinjaBill Live. Been a while since I've done one of these, and I've been doing the NinjaBill and Friends, but an actual NinjaBill Live, I have not done one in a while. And I wanted to take this opportunity to show off this cool older toy. And this is the Cyberverse playset Autobot Arc. And it's a very cool toy and one I really, really like. Really like. Give me just a moment here. Hey, Kato's collection, how goes it? Sorry about that. Stepped away for a minute. Anyway, I've got a cool toy to show off, and I have to grab some accessories to go with it because it can do a lot of things. A lot of things. And grab some stuff to display with it here. Why not? There we go. A few fine examples of little Predaking. I'm tiny, but I'm a terror. I'm a tiny terror. There we go. There we go. Anyway, so this is a pretty cool playset. This is called the Cyberverse playset Autobot Arc. And it's a really cool. Now, I have obviously added some paint here and there. But it is this really cool toy. And, you know, my regular camera that I would use for my reviews would probably have been better. But, you know, I just didn't feel like waiting to edit it and then upload it and all that other stuff. And I didn't feel like doing that. So welcome, Crimson Raptors. And tell you what, I'll invite you two in if you care to join. But I'm going to keep the joining low. Keep the joining low. And then we can discuss this toy live if you'd like with each other. It's pretty cool. It comes with Autobot Roller, who is sort of like the Mars rover. Here he is. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. He's got, you know, his arm can swing left to right. This is not holding it on camera. This arm can swing left to right. You go up or down. You know, he's got treads, but they don't roll. He's got little wheels on the bottom of them. Nothing really tabs in here. He's got a solar dish that can go up and down. This one can go up and down as well. So it's a pretty cool little roller toy. And let's see here. Transformamate him. Transformamate is a word. I just created it. There we go. And fold this way. Fold that way. Fold that way. He is a really sucky alt mode, but there it is. I mean, it's not bad. Got a decent enough sculpt. He's not bad. As Cyberverse figures go, I think that's the first official Arc toy. I forget if the Titanium series was before or after that. Well, this is after the Titanium series. This is from 2011, so it would be after. And it's one of my favorite play sets. I love it. And because it's covered with 3mm and 5mm ports all over the place, you can arm the crap out of him, you know, with lots of weapons. If you want, you can, you know, shove lots of weapons on there and arm it all up. And again, it's got 3mm ports. So if you got 3mm weapons, do I have one here? Yes, I have one here. You know, you can arm him up with your 3mm weapons as well. So you can do that. You certainly can do that. It's a fun toy. Solomus, welcome. Yeah, I'm not going to be long on this one either. That's because the Tales from Teletrans show should be on right after this. So I wanted to do this real quick, and so those guys can have their time, their show time, not interfered with by anybody else, and give those guys the love they deserve, because we are all awesome. And it features it's waffled. It definitely is waffled. You can tell that underneath here. It's definitely got some waffling going on. But you know, overall, it doesn't really, I think, affect it. But again, you can arm it up. does have a cockpit for which Autobot Roller can fit inside. But when he sits inside, as you see, it presses a button that activates lights and sounds. I just put batteries in for this. So pretty cool. But he does have there, and of course, if you want, you can fit your MicroMasters in there, which is pretty cool. I use it I just actually use this to display my MicroMasters with. But it's pretty cool, and you can fit 2 MicroMasters in here, and they're heavy enough to activate the lights and sounds. Roller had Bumblebee's R2D2's voice back in '84 before live action video. Yep, and it came with lots of weapons, and all these weapons came apart and could be held by larger robots with 5mm ports in their hands or on anywhere, like say the siege line, their bodies. And to transform it, you just went like this. Flip those out, flip that out, and you got yourself a play set. You flip this part down, flip it down, there we go. And that became a command deck with a trap door. Had a trap door in there. Trap door. So, and you can open this up, this section too. Have a rear deck if you wanted. Add a weapon right here. A ramp right there that also activated weapons. I forget how to activate this one. There's a button on there somewhere. But at any rate, that has lights and sounds too. Has a 5mm port in there if you like. Has a space bridge right over there if you wish to use it. Obviously, mine has been painted. Let me open this up here. Has a space bridge right there. Little storage area over here. Had a repair bay right there that you could set up. So you have a nice little repair bay going on. It had this little arm thing that I lost. It's on a 3mm peg that goes right back in there, but I lost it. Can't find it. So it's pretty cool. I dig it. I dig it a lot. And all of his weapons came off. Like these towers could also be used as rifles for larger bots. And I'll display that right now. Set this off to the side. Do I have a larger bot nearby? Not so much. Give me a moment. I hate it when I'm unprepared. I am now prepared. Okay, so you can take any of your bots, and as long as they have a 5mm port, you could use these weapons on any of your bots or on the side of his arm. And you had 2 of those. Let's get the other one off here. You had 2 of those that you could, arm up your robots with. Pretty cool. And if that isn't enough for you, again, he had several other weapons. It had these big giant missile launchers, only this one's a static piece. Missile just plugs in, doesn't actually fire. But again, if you wanted, you could arm up your larger robots with said weapon, if you wanted. And that still isn't enough for you. That's just one of them. It came with 2 of them. It came with another one of these big rifles, and this one actually did launch. So that was pretty cool. And again, it could fit in a larger robot's hand, arm, or wherever you could plug it in. Pretty cool. I dig it. I dig it a lot. And if that still wasn't enough armament for you, that still wasn't enough arm. Came with these big rocket launchers and machine guns. And you could also arm up your character with said weapons if you wanted. If that still wasn't enough, Adamantium Matrix, welcome. I wish I'd gotten that arc playset. Crimson said I would have spray painted it orange yellow. See, now I was getting to that. I was getting to that. But anyway, there again, if you wanted, you could arm up your robots with many powerful weapons from the playset if you wanted. it could get ridiculous how well armed this thing was. And it's really cool. I really dig it. It's and it had a spring-loaded capture cage. You'd open this up, put a little bot in there, and he's caught. He's trapped forever. There you go. Still, all in all, really cool set. Something I really, really enjoyed. Wanted to show off. Input and I was talking in our in a live show we had with ACP, and I brought this up towards the end of it, and he went looking for it, and I'm assuming he purchased it. He found one for a decent price, so I'm assuming he purchased it. That is, and again, an assumption, so I don't know. But all in all, now it does give that space where all the weapons was. You can see now, big hollow space there. But once the weapons are in, it's, it doesn't have that. It has guns on front, and it's pretty cool. All in all, it's pretty cool. I really dig it. And again, you can arm the hell out of it. And you could use, your Cyberverse toys with it. This one happens to be Prowl. You can see Prowl. Or you can use, like I use it display with my Micromasters. And you can use your Target Masters with them. You could use, G1 mini bots with them. Hey, stay up there. There we go. No, there. You can use your G1 mini bots with them. You can use your little Titanium series guys if you had the inkling to. Like, yeah, why not have a tiny Predaking? Standing on the ship, why not have a tiny Predaking on the ship? Why not? There you go. Why not? Why not have a tiny Predaking doing his thing? So really cool toy. Really dig it. Once again, if anyone cares to join me, again, we're going to keep this short. Probably another 40 minutes, and then we'll kill it because of Tales from Chalatran will be coming on after that. But I thought I'd just show this off real quick because it is a great play set. And it comes with lots of features and lots of things you can do with it. And as if that isn't enough to be armed up that way, you can then take other 5mm weapons and plug it into those missile pods to even further arm him up. I mean, it gets ridiculous after a bit, but hey, there you go. You could certainly do that if you wished. You take some more weapons, and why not just plug them in there? Why not? Boom, there you go. And have them totally armed up. Or if you wish, you take your Target Masters here, plug them in there. Why not? Choom, choom, choom. It's a great little set. I really enjoy it. Had lots of playability, even with today's line of figures. So it's a great set. Awesome. Come on, Ratchet, get situated here. There you go. Once again, thank you very much, Larkin. I love this guy. So yeah. But so I figured I wanted to show that off. Pretty cool. Pretty cool all in all. Just molded to fit this. That's it. Doesn't fire it off. However, this one does fire it off. You'll notice the difference right away. This one has a trigger on it. This one does not. So you can see the difference right away. Pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. I like these little rifles the best. Pretty cool. And they look decent with most bots. Pretty decent with most bots, as you can see. Look pretty decent. And they're not waffled. You have detail on the other side, as you can see. So pretty cool. Pretty cool all in all. Blam, blam, blam. Pretty cool all in all. I dig it. So I just wanted to show that off. It's a favorite toy of mine. I display it, you know, along with a Trypticon. I'll display them, you know, beside of course, Trypticon Space Mode is slightly larger than this one. This one folds out to be a pretty good size. For a quick comparison, there it is with the deluxe bot in its vehicle mode, in its arc mode. So, you know, I've got a deluxe bot, but holds out to be, I mean, Trypticon is much bigger than this, obviously, you know, but still, you know, it's a decent size. It's a decent size. So, yeah. So what is everyone up to tonight? Now that this is done, there we go. Set that over there for now. Set all this over there. What is everyone up to? Anybody still here? I guess I'm alone now. I think we're alone now. No, don't get me singing. There's a song for every situation. Every situation. Unless you're like me and you listen to a fuck ton of Hailstorm. And that's probably not fit for public consumption. And I won't sing any other music on here because I don't want to get, you know, copyright stricken because of it. Trypticon, Smash, Autobot, Volcano. Oh, Crimson is still here. Good. Thought everybody left, and I was like, oh, good. I'm doing this all by myself again. That's okay. I got lots to say. I like talking to myself. I have a penchant for intelligent conversation. What can I say? I'm working a side security job tonight, driving to location. Well, that would preclude you from texting. Obviously. Wait a minute. I just now noticed there's a problem with that mushroom peg on Ratchet. Doesn't want to, it stops right there. Doesn't want to turn. I wonder, is there flashing? Yeah, there's flashing on there. Yeah. I think that'll fix it. Oh yeah, that fixed it. Got rid of that flashing on there. That one turns just fine. Nail file. This thing comes in damned handy when it comes to Transformers. It really comes in handy. That's a Predacon Megatron quote you said. It's true. The G1 series was really good. Really good. Other series have been good too, but you know, it had so much that you could, you know, so much quotable content, so much going on all the time, you know. It really was a good show, a really good series. Favorite of mine, favorite I think of everybody who watches this, because it really was just that darn good. You know, I'm not saying the quality was the best. I'm not saying the animation was the best. I'm not even saying the voice acting was the best, which was pretty good. And I'm definitely not saying that scale meant a damn thing in the series, because, you know, there'd be one episode where, you know, Predaking was large enough to carry 5 Autobots in his hands like this, right? when the Predacons were introduced, right? He cupped 5 Autobots in his hands. But later they were up to, about his, knees. So scale. Right. Nailed it. Nailed it, Sunbow. Good job. Well, it wasn't really Sunbow, it was Toei, but still. Awesome. That's why a lot of people aren't big on, don't care about scale. Some people are, some people aren't. It's up to you whether you like it or you don't. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's good, but if you depend on the G1 cartoon for scale, you're out of luck. You're dreaming. You're dreaming, because man, oh man, that series didn't care about scale. It was like scale, whoop, toss it over the shoulder, off a cliff, and then threw down a napalm bomb just for good measure, just to make sure it was gone. I really do like these guys. I still do. They should have done more of them. They really should have, and larger too. Like, I would have loved to seen these done, even in Legion. The Micromaster size is okay. I would have liked to seen these redone and say even a Legend scale. Even a Legend scale Pretender would be awesome. There we go. Even a Legend scale Pretender would be awesome. Maybe it's just me though, but I would like to see Hasbro bring these back, and again, but a much larger scale. Skip the Headmaster's gimmick, and yeah, I'd like to see that. I would like to see that, and I didn't get very many of these, unfortunately. I didn't run across a lot of them. I think I got 4, maybe 5. So that was it. And most of those are, same ones. What did I grab here? I found him. Hey, Firebite. Yeah. Did anyone collect these guys, the Robot Heroes? I love these guys. I loved them. I got a ton of them. I got all of them. I love them. And besides, who doesn't want a Widow Ravage? A little Ravage. He's adorable. Look at him. He's adorable. Here's a Blitzy. Look at that face. I'm doing good. I am doing good. Here's Grimlock. One of my favorite of the Seekers, Thrust. My favorite of the Coneheads. So Skywarp is my favorite of the regular Seekers. Of the Coneheads, Thrust is. So I get all the Thrust I can possibly find. I got 2 of these guys. I didn't find very many of these. I or my brother. So, my brother got me most of them. I'm going to need to keep this guy out in case I get Ironworks, because he will go with Ironworks. So if you have this one, if you have Iron Tread, you will definitely need to pick up Ironworks, because they're one and the same. So, hey, Dennis, how goes it? I will invite you in, Dennis, if you would like to join me. Got really nothing to talk about. I was talking about originally I wanted to show off the Cyberverse Autobot Arc playset, which I have since done. And all its cool features, like the fact that you can arm up your Siege, all your Siege bots or cons with the weapons that it comes with, which is pretty cool. Come on. You gotta love Widow Ravage. Gotta love Widow Wabbage. He's awesome. Because he's a tiny Ravage. Little Sunstreaker. Teeny Soundwave. The most mentally stable guy in the universe. That's him. What the hell Ravage is that? What the hell Ravage indeed. Widow Wabbage. These are the robot heroes. That's where, again, the most stable, sanest person whatever walked the universe is from. Because we all know he is the most stable person in the universe. Mentally stable, he's got it in spades. Also, where the Soundwave came from, Sunstreaker, Grimlock, Blaster, Thrust, and they're pretty cool little figures and well painted. Blitzwing. Look at that mug. Look at that grin on his face. Ultra Magnus. Who else have I got from that line? I had most of them. Not all of them, most of them. Starscream. Said I had most of them. Unfortunately, Predaking is not from the same line. He is a Titanium series. He's just a tiny terror. There you go. There's a little Bumblebee. Look at that face. Look at it. Little Megatron. What was the line called again? I think it was called Robot Heroes. I think. Little Hot Rod. The bee was hideous. I'm not arguing with you, you note. Note that I'm not arguing with you, little Jazz. I had a ton of them. I know one of the only 3 RC likenesses I own, iterations I own, is this one. She has big hands too, Dennis. Look at that. Look at their hands, Dennis. Look how big they are. Look at that. I'm joking with you, man. I'm joking with you, all right? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. If people don't know, Dennis was talking about RC's hands for the new Masterpiece one, and I'm just kidding with you, Dennis. I love you, brother. Don't get mad at me. I'm just kidding. Yes, Robot Heroes, right? Yeah, that's the ones I was talking about. Robot Heroes. One of the Insecticons. I don't care which one he is because I don't care about Insecticons. But there's one. I mentioned I don't care about Insecticons. I think I have. Here is Thundercracker. She's got big hands for Springer. Here is Hound. Mm. Oh, I'm going to get flack for this when I say this, but I'm doing it just to be humorous. Here's unicorn. I mean, Unicron. Oh, there he is. I'm doing it just to be funny. I'm not seriously calling it that. Here is whoever he is, depending on which color you believe him to be. But this is Rumble. Who else do I got in here? I know I got a lot of them. Here is Mr. Now You See Him, Now You Don't. Mirage. That's one of only 2 Mirage figures I own right there. I own the classics or the Chug Mirage and this. That's it. It's the only Mirages I own. Wish I had more. I don't. I had a G1 once. Well, I had a part of the G1 once. I had the bottom half, not the top half. What else do I got in here? What else? Here's Ironhide. Oh, Prime. Here you go, Ironhide. I forget who this guy is, but he was a cool target master. But I forget who he is at the moment. Pretty cool. Straighten out that weapon. There we go. Pretty cool. Came with the Human Alliance line. Forget his name though. Thought I had more robot heroes than that. Unless I have more elsewhere. I probably have more elsewhere. Also where I keep all of my spy changers at. Because the spy changers are freaking awesome. You don't like the spy changers, something's wrong with you. I mean, something is wrong with you. Hey, David, how goes it? Cyburn. They were basically transforming Hot Wheels. In case you don't know about the spy changers. So, in case you don't know, but I imagine you do. Here's another one. Vroom vroom. Lots of vrooming. Lots of vrooms going on. Here's. Believe it or not, there was an Optimus Prime in this very mold. In this mold right here. For a split second, I thought you were calling me David. No, I really wasn't there, Ethan. Everyone say hello to the ninja nephew, Ethan. By the way, that's my nephew, Ethan. So everyone say hello. We all know who this is. X-Brawn. Another Prowl. Pretty cool. Oh, here's another robot hero Insecticon. Shrapnel, Scrapnel, whatever the hell he's called. Don't care. It's an Insecticon, don't care. It goes good. So, just killing time until the Tales of Teltran show starts. A bit of G1 Jetfire. One of the thrusters. Here's the other one. I should send these parts to all of my extra parts to Larkin. I've got 3 G1 Jetfires. I always meant to restore them. I never seem to find the time. Let me just, send them to someone and let them have it. I don't know yet. I never seem to find the time. Another spy changer. This is Wars. Everybody seems to love Wars a lot. He's not my favorite of the spy changers, but a lot of people do like him. A lot of people do like him. There's Ironhide. Look at that insignia up there. What time does Tales of Teletran again? 9. Yes, I think it's 9. It was 8, but they changed it to an hour later due to whatever reasons. So, yeah. I forget what they called this guy. It escapes me at the moment. Literally the only Viacon I own from the RID line. Yeah, pretty cool stuff. Again, like I said, I'm just killing time for when that starts. This crappy little McDonald's Bumblebee toy. Yeah. But yeah, if you guys aren't familiar with the Robot Heroes, go find them. They're cool little figures, and they got some got decent. Most of them got a waist, got arms, and a head. That's about it. But they're decent. They're decent. They're decent little representations, as you all saw. And who doesn't love a tiny little Ravage? And come on, and a tiny little RC. Literally one of only like 2 I own. Because RC around here, I have a better chance of striking gold. I kid you not. I have a better chance, statistically, of finding gold in my backyard than finding an RC figure on store shelves. I'm not even exaggerating. That's how rare it is. It's statistically, I would have better chance of finding gold in my backyard than I would finding an RC figure on store shelves around here. Because I don't know why, but there it is. I don't know why, but it's it's ridiculous. Is what it is. It's redonkulous. Let's get all these guys back in. Put all these back together. He wasn't my favorite. I mean, he was my favorite, but I didn't like the trident bit of it. I think he would have been better as a cannon, but still, he's pretty cool. That's what I thought. 9 p.m. They changed it. So, and that's okay. We all got changes we have to live with. And now he has a hammer. Because why not? Hammer. Boom. Boom. There we go. So what is everyone up to tonight? After, I should say, before you watch Tales of Teletran, what are you up to? I am packing a bag and coming with a shovel then. Well, again, David, you won't find it. because RC isn't to be found around here. Statistically, I have a better chance of finding gold in my backyard, which currently from where I am positioned in my room is actually right in front of me. My backyard is that way. I don't know where it is for you. Me, it's right outside the door that way. But once again, this video was originally meant to show this off. So I really should put it back together. All I'm doing is fitting the weapons back in. Again, all these are 5mm compatible, so you can arm them on all your bots, even your siege bots. Same with the larger weapons. They all could be or missile firing bit. This one goes on this side. This one goes right over there and fits into slot. This one goes right over here, fits into that slot. This one goes right over here, fits into that slot. Close that, close that, close that. Yeah, you heard it. That was the transforming sound. So, this was, again, you could arm it up because it had 3mm and 5mm ports in it. So you could arm it up however you were wished with various things. Pretty cool. Had them underneath as well, so you could again arm it to the tooth. Just arm it to the tooth. There you go. If you wanted to do that, you could certainly do that. And again, it had electronic lights and sounds and whatnot. And so you I loved how the lights gradually light up. Pretty cool. I dig it. I dig it a lot. And once again, it came with Autobot Roller, who was basically the Mars rover, transformed into the Mars rover, which was pretty cool, I think. It's a great playset. And one, if you don't have, I think you should add to your collection because it's awesome. And there's a great little, backdrop with a Metroplex or a Fort Max or something like that. You could have it along. Couldn't really connect it per se. Now, it does have connection points for the Cyberverse series where you could connect it to, say, other. You popped it open. It had connector points here on the side and on this side as well, right here. You can see that right there where it connected to other Cyberverse playsets. So you could connect several of them together. Doesn't work. Can't connect to anything in the main line. I gotta pull those batteries out later. Still pretty cool. Sleepover bills for a gold hunt. Transformers Prime, Cyberverse. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It is compatible with those. They use the same connecting system, which is those little C clips. You know what I'm talking about? The only one I have is, well, the Cyberverse use the same ones, which is, if you look right on there, you can see those connectors. There's one right there and one right there. These connectors, the C-clip, and of course the bar. So Tia Prime had those, and so did the Cyberverse. Speaking of Tia Prime, that was a hard prime to find, man. I could hardly ever find a prime from that line. I did manage to find one though, and I found the Legion class one, and then I gave him Sephiroth's sword because why not? Why not give Prime Sephiroth's sword? Why not? I ask you, why shouldn't Prime have Sephiroth's sword? Golden. Thanks, Crimson. Thought that I always have a bloody missed it. So late here. I think every Optimus Prime should be armed with Sephiroth's sword. Every single Prime. Because he needs a big sword. I got a couple of Final Fantasy figures from Figma. And of course, they have these really cool swords. And it just happened to so be a 3mm peg. These use 3mm for their weapons and whatnot. It's 3mm peg. And I was like, okay, so yeah, put Sephiroth's sword in there. So now I have him displayed on the shelf carrying Sephiroth's sword. I dare Megatron to fuck with him now. Mm-hmm. Excuse my language. I dare him to mess with him now. He will cleave him in twain. Dennis frickin' Moulton. Yes, it is Dennis Moulton, aka the Godbot, or Godbot, as the name might suggest. Dennis Moulton, aka Godbot. The one, the only. And you and I, Dennis, need to get together to talk about a certain trio. A certain trio. We should do that right now. We should talk about these guys. We should talk about these guys. You should jump in, Dennis, and so we could talk about these guys. Squawk, squawk, scree. Little opening mouth. And you want to be careful of these joints right here on the wings. These joints. Because on mine, they're really tight. The upper one's not so much. These down here, oh yeah, they're tight. Scary, scary. There we go. We do. And until now, I was stuffing my face with Doritos. All right. But yeah, Dennis just recently, if you watched his last live show, he got Magnaboss. And I suggested that he and I talk about it on the live show. And well, no better time than the present whenever he is ready. So yeah. And he's one to watch out for. Now, that said, he has some breakable, really extremely fragile tabbing on him. So you got to be careful with this guy. Prowl, as he is known here in the U.S., he has some fragile tabbing going on. So you got to be careful with this guy. And you got to be careful of his tusk. Because that I've seen many people talk about how that broke. So you got to be careful with it. And of course, Prowl, or Lyle Jr., as he was in Japan. Big cat, little cat, etc., etc., etc. I do like Prowl. do like Ironhide too, because he's a big elephant. I like them all. Magnum Boss is one of my favorite combiners, and it's one they really need to bring back. I doubt they will. I doubt we will see a new iteration. Although Hasbro did say, nothing's off the table, but I doubt we will see him. What somebody's messaged me. How dare they? Oh, awesome. That's lovely. That is beautiful. That is a beautiful moment, folks. I can't talk about it, but it's a beautiful moment. Trust me. It is a beautiful thing. But yeah, Dennis, we need to talk about Magna Boss here because it is a one of those toys that, again, if you have him, be very careful. This is brown plastic, which might as well be GPS for everybody's concerned. If you're not familiar with the term GPS, go plastic syndrome, and good God Almighty, you just got pics from his. No, I didn't actually. No, I didn't. That means just is joining in. Bada boom, bada bing. Hey, Dennis, how goes it?
It goes, man. I had to jump in because David was being a bit of a sycophant there tonight. Fancy word, breaking out of the vocabulary on a Saturday night.
There you go. You Canadians and your language.
Right? Right?
So how is it up there?
Cold. Minus 30 today. Frostbite warning.
Damn. So you live in Newfoundland, if
I do. Mistaken. I absolutely do. Yeah, you gotta love an island in the North Atlantic, buddy.
There you go. Weather's good. The weather there would drive me nuts. Drive me nuts.
It's bad news. It's bad news story after bad news story with them.
So what does Starscream I think about Newfoundland?
It's home. You know what? Like perfect or imperfect as it might be, it's home. And we just went through, like I said, that whole Snowmageddon thing. But I mean, it's still home. And plus, honestly, we're really good at kind of hermiting, especially in the winter when it's cold. Some snacks, a cozy blanket, man, marathon something.
Right there with you. Yeah. Marathon Transformers, the '86 movie.
Yeah, I try as much as I can, but I mean, there have been times that I've had to give in. And there have been times she's a huge Sailor Moon fan. There have been times it's had to be.
Oh yeah, hey, bravo, Sam.
Right?
Bravo. I like the original. I liked most of them except for Sailor Stars. I wasn't a big fan of Sailor Stars. It wasn't my favorite of the series, but I'm quite familiar with Sailor Moon. My first crush, believe it or not, I'm not kidding. My very first crush was Ray which is Sailor Mars.
Yeah.
That was my. Welcome to the show, Cadence. But that was my very first.
You know what the best series was? Did you ever see the live action?
Yes, I have seen, and believe it, it's not just one.
I know.
Scary, isn't it? Because oh my god, are they horrible? They are horrible. They're complete trash, but they're fun to watch. Complete trash.
My favorite was a few years ago. I think it was for Christmas. It was her birthday or Christmas. I don't remember which. And I got her a moon stick. Now, when I say moon stick, I mean moon stick. I ordered it right from Japan. It wasn't a crescent moon one. It was a moon stick. Mm-hmm. And we got it. And of course it had, lights and sounds and, everything. And she ends up putting the batteries in it. And, she's trying out all the features. And of course we get to the sounds. And it's like a masterpiece all over again. You forget that, how we doing? It's going to be the Japanese voices.
yeah. I can imagine looking at
her. Oh yeah, totally forgot that was going to be the case.
So what I bet she was giggling. I'll bet she was giggling.
She was absolutely.
Welcome to the show.
She has a bunch of cigarettes now.
What I miss?
Nothing much. Dennis and I are about to talk about a certain trio. There's
Yeah.
Prowl, Ironhide, and of course, the Terror of the Skies, or
Howard of the
Terror of
Sky.
Plastic. Well, the Terror of the Skies, or Terror and transforming him.
Starscream.
He's made out of brown plastic, which might as well be gold plastic.
Yeah.
Or Skywarp, Lyle Jr. and Stanton.
Yes, exactly. Good job, Master Far. I salute you, sir. I salute you. Even though I hate your beard. Grow it more, buddy. Grow it more. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
You're getting all messy, Mr. Raggedy Blackbeard.
Hey, I like my raggedy black beard. Thank you very much.
Maybe Master Far likes his raggedy beard.
So, what
I can't say anything bad. Master Far, he does too much voice work for me. I can't say anything bad about him.
Yeah, but by the way, I've got you. Why I got you both here, I want to congratulate both of you. The last Universal Collision show was awesome.
Thanks.
I salute both of you. Seriously.
There was
a lot of hard work behind the scenes.
It is a lot of, it's funny. Like it is a lot of work, and it's difficult to coordinate people sometimes.
But
like
I'm all to do it.
Well, like just earlier this week, I sent a message to Master Fire saying, "Hey, I'm going to have lines coming soon-ish. Now, my week has gotten very busy. They're delayed, and they will come, but it's difficult. I can't speak for everyone. For me, I always say it's difficult for me to give timelines because a lot of it depends on when I can find the time on my own schedule, and that sometimes changes day to day. So like I roll with the punches, and like Master Fire, like I ask for your patience, honestly, because sometimes I can't give concrete times. That's the worst part of trying to coordinate everything, and you're hoping you're not offending anyone or putting anyone out when you.
But you probably are.
Well, and you probably are, but I mean, you don't mean to, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I can understand because you got to worry about scripting, then you got to worry about actually before or after that you've got to write out the storyboard.
And
God knows how long that takes.
That'll take a while, and you got to find a schedule. And I bet this summer you got a lot planned because.
Oh yeah, and then not only that, then you've got to send out the scripts to those who are doing, such as Master Far here, doing the voice acting.
Yeah,
it's all time consuming, but you guys did a hell of a job on Universal Collision, the last Universal.
Well, we appreciate
it.
I really love doing Bruticus.
Oh,
yeah. Well, I mean, and not to say anything, and not to ruin anything, and I'm not going to. But the next set of lines is for another, I'm going to say, fairly substantial character, but one that we have yet to see in the series.
Oh, who?
I'm not going to tell you who. That's just it. You'll find out. You'll find out, but I'm not going to say if anybody else finds out yet.
I look forward to it nonetheless.
I'm not going to tell you. You'll find out before anybody else finds out.
Or like a main player.
I will say this: you can tell what characters Master Bar is excited doing when he's doing the voices. Where he's other ones. See, Dennis knows what I'm talking about. You can tell when you're excited about doing a character, Master Bar, because you do it. The intonations in your voice are so much crisper when you're excited about doing a character versus when you're just reading it and you're like, hell, I don't really care. I'm sorry to say that, but it's true. See, Dennis knows. Look at that grin. He knows what I'm talking about.
And Waspinator, I'm so excited to do. Can I a little example of what it's going to sound like?
Go ahead.
Waspinator coming soon with plans. Waspinator getting blown up.
I can't do that. It's so much better than I can do.
Oh, how can you do it?
Well, I can't. Here's the thing. There's a certain almost nasaliness that is in the voice that I can't pull off. That's the killer. I can't. I've tried a bunch of times, and then I go back and I'm like, man, I make a lot of stretches. I stretch a lot, but some things I just can't stretch, and he's one that I really can't stretch. You do it so much, infinitely better than I can.
Welcome to the show, Crimson. I'm going to cut you off. Welcome to the show, Crimson Raptors. How you doing?
What up? What up, everybody?
Now, what time is Tales from Teletran? It's about 5 minutes to 8
And,
here in my
and
time.
about an hour. But I'll have to bug out in half an hour because we usually start like a pre-show before, like, kind of get everything organized.
Yep. Snoke, welcome to the channel, buddy. Always a pleasure seeing you.
Hey, Snoke, always happy to see you, buddy.
Hey, Snoke, how you doing?
His last video was
say that
pretty
Dennis.
interesting. I'm sorry. I was just talking about Snoke here. If you haven't watched his latest video where he's talking about the Batarang inside the new bat suit, so go check that video out if you haven't. Subscribe to his channel if you have not already. Subscribe to Dennis. Subscribe to Master Par.
Now I'm
Subscribe to Crimson Raptors. So, check everybody out. David
I was
has
gonna say
a couple
that.
of great videos. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, the wife was coming in. I was gonna say that Dennis, you're always talking about your stretch on your voices and stuff, but man, like you do so many of them. But you're doing the afflection. I think that's the right word for it, of the characters, like how they would sound, right? And so when I'm watching it, you know who you're supposed to be. You know you're supposed to be Wheeljack. You know you're supposed to be, Perceptor, or like all these other characters and stuff, and it works really well. So it's not distracting, but you have a larger range of frequency of character reflection than you may think you do, Dennis.
I try to. And part of it is
Your Grimlock is pretty
better. Yeah, and like some of it, if you go back with certain characters and you hear the way I voice them, sometimes it's like, man, like the first time I ever done Grimlock, like it sounded like Cookie Monster. And it was because I was doing it just so quick, and like that's one of my most viewed videos. It's crazy, but like I was doing it so quick, it was just for fun, and people come back and been like, "It sounds like Cookie Monster." I'm like, you know what? It does.
Here's my Optimus Prime.
It does sound like Cookie Monster.
Well, you're my Optimus Prime. Here's what initially.
Me Grimlock want cookie.
Me Grimlock want cookie, or I would like.
Me Grimlock want cookie.
Now it actually wasn't too bad.
What?
Me Grimlock no like diabetes.
That's why I don't want to eat. Yeah, and wait. This is how RID Grimlock sounds, right?
RID.
Yeah.
I never did see that show.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Look,
Where's that underbite? I'm doing an impression.
Here's the thing. Go ahead.
Or is that underbite? I haven't seen RID in ages.
Well,
Might be underbite.
here's the thing with RID. RID was fun. It's supposed to take place right after Transformers Prime, right? Immediately after, or whatever it is. And it's fun as long as you take it. Don't take it seriously. If you start trying to take the show seriously, that's when you're gonna start seeing the holes in it.
Yeah.
But one of the great things about it, it
hole.
introduced a bunch of great new characters.
That's
what I loved.
Who do I love? Like there were a lot of good ones. There were a lot of great ones.
Yeah.
The definitive version of Strong Arm.
Yeah, I like Spring Load.
Spring Load.
I like Quillfire
as well.
Yeah,
I'm
I like
surrounded by an idiot frog.
and Spring Load, Quillfire. I
Thunderhoof.
like Thunderhoof.
I love Thunderhoof.
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 I don't want to tell you that.
I love Clampdown.
Clampdown was okay. I like Thunderhoof, I think, the best, because I just love the way that New York gangster accent of his, and Masterbar could do it, because of his whole Eastern accent going on.
I freaking hate you, Clampdown. You ratted me out again.
See?
See?
It works. It works.
Hey, come on. I'll be good. I'll be good. Oh, and it was bitch.
Well,
We didn't get the Poyer bitch.
So, what I asked Dennis originally here was to talk about his thoughts on Magnaboss, on these three toys. So you've had a few days with them now. What is your impressions on this awesome, and I do mean awesome in my opinion, this awesome trio of combining robots?
Okay. Prowl is the line, right? Are we
Yes.
using this? That's the names we're using? Prowl, right?
Either or. I know either or, the Japanese or the American names. It's up to
Well,
you.
you know what's hilarious? I actually have a Lyo Junior, but Lyo Junior for me
It's a knockoff, right?
was a $2 deluxe size KO of that same mold, except he doesn't have the combiner head, and of course he's a more deluxe size, rather than, I don't even know what size you would call him. I like him as a robot. I like the mold as a robot. Even with the open mane, I don't find it obtrusive. And I like the lion mode, but it's really limited in articulation, like more than I wish it was. Especially the front legs. And then as a combined head, I guess that's what I'll call it. I guess it's fine. When we talk about Ironhide, I love an elephant alt mode. I love it.
Yeah.
The robot mode
Is a kibble mess.
It's a kibbly mess, but you know what shocks me?
Oh yeah, I get it.
That there's still the range of motion that he has. Like, I see the kibbly mess, and I feel like this should get in its way a lot more than it does.
The articulation is all there, except for maybe a rocker, in a foot rocker. It's all there.
And then there's Silverbolt, and again, crunch. And speaking of Japanese figures, I have Beast Wars II Apache.
Really? No, you would no. You'd never have this guy. Who would ever have this guy, Master Far? Nobody ever but you would have this guy.
Yeah.
I'm kidding, man.
I actually in the show. And does he have GPS too? Like,
yeah. Here, everyone, have some butt in your face. Monkey butt in your face.
I gotta be honest. Every time I take
that junk. Look at him.
I just realized something about some of the Transformers. We got a Razor Beast, who's basically like Pumbaa, Apache, who's basically Rafiki, and Prowler Lionel Jr. as Simba.
Yeah.
You need a Timon, a little meerkat.
I don't think they ever made one of them.
I don't know of any meerkat one. No.
What were you saying earlier, Dennis?
Oh, and Wild Convoy's Mufasa. Gotta bring that up.
There you go.
I get.
So back on topic here. Let's try to stay on top. This is my Sunday show, so we can't do a lot of the straying that we do and the sexual innuendo and the mega cursing and why not? What the hell? Let's do it. No,
we need Kato for that.
We need Kato and input for that. Thors, welcome. How you doing, Thors?
As a pair of pants, as a pair of pants, Ironhide's fine. I'm okay with it as a pair of pants. I mean, I'm going suit. I don't know. What do you? I'm right. I think he's fine.
Technically, he's sort of the pants and the shirt.
Basically, the whole.
Yeah, I guess he's like a leisure suit. He's like a leisure suit from the 70s.
He's the head and he's the hat. So he's the hat.
Yeah.
He's literally the hat.
Yeah.
You know,
and then we get to him. The one that Starscream wife called a chicken, and I said it's not a chicken. It's an eagle, man.
Oh my God.
Big difference. That chicken will eat you.
She shrugged. It's a bird.
Sam, if you're listening, I'm not laughing at you. Well, yes, I am. I'm laughing at you. And I'm sorry.
Every day. That he scares the hell out of me. That's what I'll say about that. I handle him so delicately that I'm almost nervous doing it. Like I'll be happy to get this review done and over with, and get it kind of back out of my hand, somewhere safe, away from me.
Can I just say something about Apache quickly? The GPS is in the spots where it won't affect it. Like the whole body isn't GPS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
it's not bad, but I have never had a problem with mine. He transforms just fine. Nothing's ever been stressed. Everything's still fine.
Second, I have scuba as well.
David Hill said, "Oh, Bill, I went to check my local stores. Target finally got Terradive Micromaster from Siege and 5 Shockwaves. Walmart got in 20 copies of 35 megs. Wow.
I got
And a Sound Blaster and 2 Blue Streaks. Blue Streak, I would like to have. I could care less about the 30th anniversary. I know Dennis likes the Prime and the Megatron a little bit better. He said so in his reviews, and I trust his.
Sound Blaster.
But Sound Blaster, I would like to have because I did a RID custom of Sound Blaster because we hadn't had a Sound Blaster in a while.
Well, NinjaBill, man, you have my email now. Hit me up. Like we're swimming in 35th Prime and Megs and Sound Blasters and Blue Streaks here. So if David can't pick it up, I mean you're up in Iowa. I'm down here in Oklahoma, so it might be cheaper for shipping too than David can send out to you.
Oh,
okay.
It took me
$50
to ship.
Wait, you're from Iowa, NinjaBill?
Yep.
And
it took me $50 to ship to Cato, believe it or not. $50 to ship to ACP.
What did you ship to him?
Well, I shipped him Rhino and custom.
I don't understand.
Did you ship it priority or like the slowest shipping?
Just 3-day mail, I think.
Yeah. Well, that's really expensive. I've never shipped priority anymore. The prices have gone insane.
Yeah.
Thank you. Welcome.
That's why I use.
I know it's expensive and stuff, especially like from here. But like a while ago, like I shipped from here to Florida a Power Master Optimus Prime, and I was like, this is going to be like $100. Just you watch, and it wasn't because it was only like it was 1 liter, and it was $17. But I was like, from here to Florida. I'm an island in the North Atlantic to Florida. I thought that $17 was 17 Canadian. I thought was kind of what I
wish I was paying
like,
those prices.
I guess. But here's the other thing. Somebody, earlier I said that my Lio Convoy or my Lio Junior is a $2 KO. Well, there was a set of 8. Really, most of them were from like Beast Wars 2 and Beast Wars Neo, but for the $2 or $3 that they were, it was a cheap dollar store type of KO thing. But for the $2 or $3 that they were, it's not bad. Like honestly,
hello everyone.
Hey, Chief Andy.
Honestly, I'll spit this out in a minute.
Take it.
Ear razor. It's still my ear razor that I'm using. But my point is this. I had 8 of them, 7 of them picked up because I couldn't find the last one in the set for someone. And the whole, set of the 7 that I had was something like, I don't know, $20 American or something at the time. 22 is what it worked out, whatever it was. And the shipping, however, on that, I guess because of the size, where this was a number of them, was like $103. Now, there's a big difference between $17 and $103, but I can guarantee you there wasn't a big difference in the mass or the weight of the boxes. I'm thinking that dimensions are one of the key deciding factors to cost. If you can make the dimensions as small as possible, I think that's what's going to affect you more than anything else.
See, for me,
absolutely.
For me, shipping is not dimension; it's weight. They ship by. I pay by weight, not by dimension.
Shipping is
same here, NinjaBill.
Depending on where you get it from.
Weird.
$100 for a $5 figure.
Yeah.
Well, that mask Rhino, like that has die cast in it, right?
A bit, not much. It's mostly plastic.
So that's gonna add to that weight for sure. But also the dimensions of that Rhino is pretty big. So I sent some stuff up to.
Yeah, you might have weight and dimensions in that. Yeah, I guess $50.
No, see.
So I was sending. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I paid actually it was $44.75 to ship to him, and the weight is what cost me. It was the weight because I also shipped a custom figure to him, but it wasn't the dimension. The dimension was, I think it was a 9 by I want to say 9 by 10 package. So it wasn't really dimension; it was the weight.
See, and so I shipped something up to a fellow stop motion animator by the name of CT Bill 555, and
Later, David.
he's up in Canada, and
Yep.
it only cost me now. What I sent him was some mini mates, right, from Walgreens, like those little tiny little Lego mini mate Marvel figures, and it was in a bubble wrap, so not a box. First off, so it was a little bubble wrap thing. It had a ton of padding in it, so a lot of air bubble, little air pockets, and it cost me like less than $10 to go up to him from me to Canada because it was just basically like a straight shot up. Now, I've also shipped to to TF Fan Geek. His was around about $10 as well, and that was a deluxe figure, and that was in a box. But I don't ship priority. I don't ship next day. I ship parcel post, or if I'm shipping books, media mail or whatever, DVDs. But like I ship as cheaply as possible, and then if it's like something like first class, is totally fine. I think if you get past a certain weight, it goes beyond first class. But I always make sure I get a tracking number. 100% get a tracking number, even if that's extra. But it's going to get to the person eventually. It's not really going to get lost unless you're trying to send it like overseas. Then that's where it becomes the problem.
Wait. Why would you pay extra for a tracking? That should be standard.
Yeah, I thought it was.
It's not. It's standard with priority, but it's not standard for some of the other cheaper options. So that's why I always make sure I get tracking no matter what option I pick.
How
But
long?
it all depends on the weight when it comes to first class, and it depends on the dimension. So a leader class would be very expensive, I could see for sure.
Well, I've never heard of that. I never heard of that Crimson Raptors because here in California, here in my area of California, every time I've shipped out something, I've always shipped it like regular, the cheapest.
Later, Thors. Have a good night.
Good night, Thor.
Yeah,
And
sure.
yeah, and they just automatically apply a tracking number. And for some strange reason, even though I ship like standard shipping, and they say it usually takes about 7 to 10 days, for some reason it usually takes only 3 to 5 days. I don't know why they're doing it like that.
Yeah, they'll tell you it takes like a week or whatever, right? But it doesn't. It takes way shorter than that. So that's why. I mean, and mine is an actual post office, so it's not like a third party or inside of a grocery store or nothing like that. Like it's an actual USPS office. But there are UPS stores that are around town too, and they're going to charge you as much as possible to ship stuff out. But I know like Dennis's situation is probably that was dimensions 100%. That thing could have weighed like 2 pounds, but it's big. Like it could be a Cyberverse Arc, right?
Right.
What were you saying?
Before I go, I'm just gonna say, make sure it has guaranteed shipping. That's what I do on eBay. What the hell?
I don't care about the guaranteed shipping. I only make sure I always get a tracking number because I want them to have something to track as well.
I will be damned before I ship anything or buy anything from eBay. I'm sorry if you people enjoy it. That's fantastic. But I can't talk about eBay.
I'm never going to use eBay. For starters, I don't have PayPal, so
You take
I don't know. I've gotten a lot of stuff off of eBay.
Yeah, me too.
They've had some bad experiences, Dennis. They both have. Even Cato doesn't do eBay either, and it's just. I mean, there are horror stories, right?
I get it,
but
yeah. I try
as a seller on eBay though. That's like a nightmare. Everything is against you as a seller on eBay.
But like I'll go back to like pretty much my Beast Wars collection. Whatever I got, not whatever, but whatever I got off eBay.
No, eBay is not my friend. Not my friend.
That's unfortunate.
Welcome, Steve.
The problem I have with shipping is that here in California, you literally have to pay a sales tax for everything. Even shopping online on Amazon, they'll pay you a shipping tax. And so every time I buy a Transformers figure here, whether it's Target or off of Amazon.
Sweet, you got them?
What?
You got the Earthrise guys.
Yeah, just the Micromasters.
I got Grapple.
Yeah. So
anyway, so what were you saying, TF Angie?
In California, you literally pay a sales tax for everything. I think the only items I bought in the store where I didn't have to pay a sales tax for them was gift cards. That's the only thing you don't have to pay a sales tax for is a gift card because they can't charge you an additional amount for the money you want to put on the gift card or whatever value it's going for. So those are the only items you don't have to pay a sales tax for are gift cards. But everything else, like even shipping and even off of Amazon, just because I live here in California, I have to pay a sales tax on Amazon's website to have Transformers sent to my address.
Is it mine?
Yeah.
And so basically,
We have to pay taxes here.
Toy.
We only pay taxes on food. That's it.
And the sales tax is calculated by weight, eight for Amazon's packages, and I think that's why a lot of the smaller ones they now ship in bubble wrapped envelopes to reduce the shipping cost. Although I think it's just laziness and wanting to use the cheaper ones that are available. But the point I'm trying to make is that every single Transformers action figure I've purchased, going all the way back to when I started in 2003, whenever I see the price tag, I automatically have it ingrained in my head that I'm going to pay $2 to $3 more than the price tag because of the sales tax.
Hey, I'm sorry to interrupt again.
See, and that
I just wanted to ask, what was your first Transformer figure?
Mine?
Yeah, like
the first one I ever had was Transformers Generation 2 Hero Optimus Prime. And that's only because I got him as a surprise birthday gift the year he was released back in 1994.
My first
he still has
07 movie Rescue Ratchet.
Mm.
My problem was I broke it like in a bunch of places. Wheels came off, everything came off because like I was a dumb kid, like 6. And like that Rescue Ratchet was like then Night Watch Optimus Prime, then the original movie Bumblebee, then a whole bunch of animated stuff. Like I grew up on animated. I really loved the Voyager Optimus from that line. I still have Ultra Magnus.
I can't remember my first one.
I wish I got.
I wanted to mention something to.
Yes, Crimson.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I was going to mention something to TF Geek is that I never had to pay tax on Amazon for the longest time until about a year or so ago when they changed the law here in Oklahoma. So we always had it to where you pay taxes if you ship from someone within the state, but not out of or into, right? So then they changed that loophole or whatever. So now we do pay taxes, even though before it was only if Amazon had a distribution center within the state, would we have to have had to pay taxes because it would have been shipped within or gone through them or whatever. But we don't pay taxes on shipping because that's a shipping cost. So it's only based on the actual total of the items. So that's weird. That's a state thing if you got to pay taxes.
My Masterfar.
Later, Masterfar. So what's TF Bank? What is the sales tax percentage you pay?
It was
everything.
It was 10% up until last year when they decided to up it up 1%. So now it's like 11%.
I think ours here is was 6, and now I think it's 9. I think.
Yeah, because the sales tax for Siege Omega Supreme on every website where I wanted to get Omega Supreme, he had a sales tax of $15. So in addition to his price tag, I had to pay an additional $15 to get the Siege Titan class Omega Supreme.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Dennis? What's your do you have to pay tax like that?
15%, and the only thing we don't pay tax on is I don't think we paid on most food, but besides that, nothing that doesn't get the 15% taken from it.
Well,
hey, Kato, welcome back.
So on a happier note, I went shopping at Target today to see if they had any Earthrise figures, and here's the Earthrise figures they had. They didn't have anything. In fact, they restocked on Wave 4 of the Siege line. Wave 4. They had Thundercracker, Megatron, Impactor, Barricade, Mirage, Shockwave, Ultra Magnus. That was all they had.
I only got 2 Mirages, 2 Impactors, and 2 Barricades here at all.
So yeah, my target.
Mine had a Hound. Mine had a Prime, the Siege Prime, Siege Hound, a Barricade, which I have now, and I think a Megatron, and that was it. Literally, those 3, and 1 of each. That's it.
Yeah.
I don't think we saw much of Wave 4 here. I mean, I've seen like an Impactor, a Mirage.
Page 101, welcome.
So, but not too much in the way of that wave 4.
Yeah.
No.
So I've come to the conclusion that my Target store is going to wait until the official release date of March 31st before they finally put Earthrise figures out on the shelf.
Yeah, Steve said here. He said, "Mine just stocked Studio Series figs, and I don't buy that line."
So here's what I do, right? I'll take the War for Cybertron ones, and I'll take them off the peg and put them over on the studio side ones, so it looks like there's plenty of studio sides on the peg, and then that way they order more War for Cybertron seed, because I don't care about that the stinking Studio Series crap.
So Crimson, everybody else has answered the question that I've asked now. What is your tax rate for like buying figures? What are you paying there in Oklahoma? I believe you said.
So I have no idea what Amazon does or eBay. Like they're all over the place. Like it makes no sense to me. But it's way less than our normal 8%. And if you go like in the town next over, it's like almost 9%. I've always been a big proponent, and it's not a political thing in any stretch saying this, but I've been a big proponent of a 10% flat fair sales tax. You get anything I buy. If it's $1, it's 10 cents on top of it. If I get a paycheck, you don't take any taxes out. You don't take any. We don't have to file nothing, right? Like I don't think we should do any of that stuff. And it's only if you buy something would we pay an actual tax. And then all of a sudden, everybody that buys things has to pay taxes. And if you want to trade, like say if FanGeek and I, like say we both, or FanGeek, sorry, if you and I traded like Siege figures, we wouldn't pay taxes to each other. We'd pay shipping, but we wouldn't pay taxes to each other because we would just trade. And then I think that would really be the best way to do it, because then it's fair against everybody. But there's state rights, right? So it's like, well, how do you figure out what's federal, what's state? I say you start out with 5% to the state. Yeah. So you do 5%. You start out, right? You do 5% state, and 5 cents to the state and 5 cents to the government. And then like something like California, where you have too many people there, then you could figure it out. Like maybe they need 7% for their state, and then 3% goes to the government, because there's so many people paying. I really think that needs to be what needs to happen.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt, Crimson. NinjaBill TFM page.
No, that's fine. I was done.
To join for a moment. He liked the link.
Yeah, I was just sending it to him. Believe it or not.
Yeah.
And I might have to bug out here soon, but because I think input's almost ready.
Oh yeah, we should probably wrap it up anyway, fellas.
Right.
Because of
we
all want to make sure
you guys can keep talking. We won't start
actually,
you for yeah.
I kind of want to fill up my water and some other crazy things, and we'll catch each other tomorrow night at any rate. But I still kind of want to. Hopefully, me and Dennis can really chat about these guys, and I know he's got a review coming up, but I'm still really interested in hearing more what he thinks of these guys. And anyway, so we'll see you all on tomorrow night's episode of NinjaBill and Friends, and hopefully you guys can join me. Wait, we got one guy coming in. I'll let him in before I go. TF Fan Page 101, welcome.
Hey, Brian.
Yes, you're on camera. Too late. We got you. You have been caught.
Sinister for that move.
So tomorrow night, at 8 p.m. or a little thereafter, I will have NinjaBill and Friends show. This is just a NinjaBill Live, meant to show off originally to sort of look at the Cyberverse playset Autobot Arc, which is a really cool toy. And who is that you have there? Who's that you have? Sound Blaster?
Sound Blaster.
Nice.
Yes, I thought.
I just got it yesterday, so.
Nice. But anyway, I'll let you guys go. Kato, my money is my money. Taxation is theft. I repeat. Hey,
right?
Originally it was intended that we only be taxed during war. Here in the United States, and you notice
the hell happened to that?
I know what happened.
And you notice have you noticed the trend since say World War II that we always seem to be involved in one conflict after another, and thus taxation continues? Is that a coincidence?
I know the answer to both those questions. So after that, why are we Why do we have to pay taxes for everything? Well, the reason that amendment was passed was because of the monopolists, John D. Rockefeller, Andrew Carnegie,
Yes.
J.P. Morgan, just to name them off. They made so much money that the government decided the only way to be fair to the public and give the public voices against the monopolists was for everyone to pay an income tax every year. And so that's why that amendment was passed, because John D. Rockefeller, Andrew Carnegie, and J.P. Morgan and the monopolists just got too wealthy. They
Well, there you go. There you go. So I'm going to let this go, and I don't ever want to talk about
and for
politics.
NinjaBill's question about why are we involved in every
No, it's not politics. It's just taxes.
yeah, and for Ninja, and just to really fast answer your question, NinjaBill, why are we involved in every conflict? That's because of Pearl Harbor. After Japan bombed us at Pearl Harbor, the United States decided we're done being isolated from the rest of the world. We want to see everything that's going on, so nobody has a surprise attack on us. And unfortunately, even though we've tried to do that since World War II, there's been some days where we did let our guard down and let an enemy sneak into the nation. September 11th
Okay,
is
so
one example.
with that, I'm gonna let everybody go.
What's
TF
the
fan page
Federation
101.
example?
TF fan page 101. I want you to lead us out with an epic adventure worthy of Conan himself.
With an epic
And
adventure.
he's rocking that beard.
Yes.
All right, come with me. We're gonna go on an adventure. We're gonna see what we've got here. Oh, look, we're gonna have